Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Was Married to Serafall Leviathan movie. Before we start, please go support Dragon 180 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. Love comes in different ways, as Issei and Serafall discovered. Mating. Everything would happen at Kuoh High School, where our chestnut-tired boy would be somewhat thoughtful about all the recent events, since in less than a month his life took a 180 degrees turn, from being a simple human to being a demon, in addition to possessing a dragon sealed inside him. But his thoughts were interrupted by his two friends Matsuda and Madohama. Matsuda, what are you thinking about so much, Issei? Issei, it's nothing, I was just thinking about how my life has changed over the past few months. Madohama, you're right, ever since you joined the research club, women have been flocking to you. Issei, yes, but I still feel like something is missing. Matsuda, something? Could it be that you need, Issei, that's not it, you idiot. Matsuda, relax, I was just saying, but what could you possibly lack? You have the two older women from the academy along with the mascot Kaneko and even the two new students Asia and Zenovia. Madohama, if you're lucky. Issei, I know, but they're just my friends, nothing more. Mamo, whatever you say. Issei leaves the room, leaving his two friends somewhat puzzled by their friend's attitude. Matsuda, what's wrong with him? Madohama, I don't know, what do you think about going to where it's time? Matsuda simply nods and they leave the room under the disdainful gaze of the girls since they are members of the perverted trio. Issei was walking through the academy still thinking about what had happened in his life. Drake, stop thinking so much, it's giving me a headache. Issei, I'm sorry, it wasn't my intention, it's just that. Drake, only you're still thinking about the bearer of Albion and his power. Issei, if I need to become stronger. Drake, I'll just say train and let me sleep. Issei, okay. The days passed quickly and before they knew it, there was one more day until the family gatherings. On the streets of Kuoh, the three friends were walking towards their homes. After several minutes, Matsuda arrived at his house and the three said goodbye, letting their two friends continue towards their homes. A while later, Matsuda arrived at his house and also said goodbye to his friend, who also said goodbye and headed towards his house. Issei walked for several minutes. He was distracted and still thinking that he didn't realize he bumped into someone. When he realized what he had done, he quickly helped her. Issei, sorry, I wasn't looking where I was going. Don't worry, it was my fault too. Issei realized it was a woman and followed her gaze to where she was, and what he saw made him blush. In front of him was a beautiful woman. Issei, oh sorry, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Issei. Hello, I'm Serafall. Nice to meet you, Aishin cheerful. Issei, well, it was a pleasure, Serachin, but I must go. Serafall, see you later. Issei and Serafall head towards their respective destinations. Serafall thought he was a demon, but as always happens when a demon sees me, he always greets me with respect, but he was different, wasn't he? No, Serafall, don't think about that yet, you still have to get to know him. With Issei. Issei, that girl was cute. Drake, Serafall Leviathan, Issei. Drake, she is one of the underworld's Maoists, so don't get your hopes up about her friend. It is said that she has rejected more than one demon because she is waiting for the right one. Issei, relax, I don't plan to do it. She's unattainable, and besides, I'm just a pawn. Drake, you said it yourself, it's unattainable and the chances of it happening are from 0 to 100. Issei, you're right, but she's still cute. The next morning, everything would be normal for our chestnut-tired friend. Family gatherings would be like in the anime until recess. Issei, but what's going on? Why all the commotion? Guy X, didn't you know there's a girl cosplaying as a magical girl? Issei, magical girl cosplay, could it be the girl from yesterday? Issei ran towards that person, and when he arrived, he realized that it was indeed her. At that moment, his other colleagues from the research club arrive. Rias, what's going on here, Issei? Issei, look, pointing to where Serafall is. Before anyone can say anything else, the doors open, revealing Student Council President Sona Sitri. Sona, Saji, what's going on? Why all the commotion? Saji, President Vera, she is interrupted by Serafall. Serafall, Sunita, is that you? He jumps to hug Sona. Sona, don't wait, sister. Issei/Saji, sister. Rias, if she is Serafall Leviathan, Sona's older sister, one of the Maoists of the underworld. She approaches where the two of them are. Rias, Serafall Sama, it's been a while. Serafall, oh Rias, it's been so long, look how much you've grown and how you are doing. Risk, good, thanks for asking. Serafall, I'm glad. Rias, and I suppose he's here to observe Sona. Serafall, even though she didn't tell me anything, she's mean pouting. Rias, she already knows what Sona is like. Sona, Rias, Serafall, oh and by the way, where is the red dragon? Rias, I'll call him Issei.
Come here.
Issei, yes, President. Rias, I want to introduce you to interrupted by Serafall. Serafall, Aishin, is that you? Issei, hello Serachin. Rias/Sona, they know each other. Issei, hehe, yes, yesterday when I was heading home we bumped into each other. Serafall, although we were both distracted, I was looking at the city and we bumped into each other. Issei, hee and sorry for not recognizing her. Serafall, don't worry, it was partly my fault too. Rias, well, we'll leave now with your permission. Serafall, okay. The entire Gremory group leaves the area, leaving the three behind, but before they can leave, Sona comes out, followed by Serafall and Saji. Rias, this is going to be a long day for Saji. Akeno, it seems so. End of chapter.
A date and something more.
Everything would be like in the anime. The meeting of the factions and the fight between Issei and Volley, only with a slight change that an attack launched by Volley would be about to hit Serafall. Serafall, seeing the thing heading towards her, would not react in time and would only close her eyes awaiting the impact. After several seconds, feeling that nothing had happened, she slowly opened her eyes and was greatly surprised to find Issei standing in front of her, protecting her. He simply took off his helmet and gave her a smile that made Serafall blush. Issei, are you okay, Serachin? She simply nodded, though she was still a little scared. Once the smoke clears, Issei and Volley resume their battle, which would end as in the anime with Biku's interruption. After the battle, Serafall felt strange, and it was all because of the chestnut-tired boy. She didn't know what was happening to her since she had never experienced that feeling before, and she approached Issei. Serafall, Icegun, excuse me, can we talk in private? Issei, yes, of course. The two of them separated from the group. Issei, so what did you want to talk to me about, Serachin? Serafall, first of all, I wanted to thank you for protecting me from that attack. Issei, it's nothing. Serafall, and the other thing was that you make my heart race and I'd like to get to know you better, so I'd like to have a date with you. But she received no answer, so she became worried and thought that he didn't like the idea and was about to leave. Serafall, I'll understand if you don't want to. Issei, it's not just that it took me by surprise. Serafall, so you accept. Issei, of course I'd love to go out with you. Serafall, how about Saturday at 12? She gives him a kiss on the cheek and runs off in the direction of the others, leaving a blushing Issei behind. Issei, what just happened? Drake, she asked you out on a date, surprised. Issei, I know, you see, I think I have a chance with her. Drake, I don't know what she saw in you, but I still can't believe it. Issei, yes, whatever you say. He leaves with the others. Rias, where were you? Issei, I stayed talking with Drake for a while. Rias, okay, doubtful of the answer. The days would pass as normal. Saturday. All the girls were on the couch at home watching a movie until they heard someone knocking at the door. But before one of them could get up, Issei interrupted them. Issei, I open. Upon opening the door, Issei was stunned to see Serafall standing before him wearing a blue dress. Serafall, and how do I look? Issei, you look beautiful, blushing. Serafall, all ready for our date? Issei, yes. So Issei took Serafall first to dinner at a restaurant, then they went to the amusement park where they went on almost all the rides, then they went to the aquarium, and finally they went for a quiet walk through the park. Serafall, I had fun today, Icegun. Issei, me too. Serafall, nervous. Issei, I don't know how to say this, but since I met you I've felt emotions I've never felt before, and that's why.
She lunges towards Issei and kisses him on the lips.
Serafall, that was my first kiss and I expect you to take responsibility. Issei faints after the kiss. 5 minutes later, Issei opens his eyes and realizes he is in Serafall's lap. When she saw that he had woken up, she just gave him a smile that made Issei blush. Issei, I don't know what to say since Drake told me you have many suitors. Serafall, yes, I have many, but they only do it because I'm the Mao and because of my body, sad, but you're different. Issei, thank you, and why am I different? Serafall, you don't care about riches or fame, none of that. Besides being kind, you would help people without asking for anything in return. That's why I've fallen in love with you. Issei, I never thought you'd think that about me, and I fell in love with you too. That's why I wanted you to be my girlfriend, Serafall. Serafall, yes, I want to be your girlfriend. They share a kiss that reflects the love they have for each other. After the kiss, they share several more, and in one of those kisses, Serafall leaves a mark on Issei as she knew that Rias and the others would be a problem. Then they head to Issei's house holding hands. Upon arrival, they say goodbye with a chorus of kisses. Upon entering, Issei is confronted by a furious Rias. Rias, where were you all day? Issei, hey, I was interrupted by Rias. Rias, what's that pointing at Issei's neck? Issei, this is it. End of chapter.
The truth.
Rias, tell me who did that to you, pointing at the chestnut-tired man's neck. Issei, it's nothing, Madam President, it's just an allergy. Rias, okay. Issei, well, President, I'm going to sleep. Rias, I'll go with you. Issei, no, I want to sleep alone tonight. Rias, that's not right, I can't sleep without my Issei. Issei, just for this week, President. Rias, I don't accept it, I can't sleep without my Issei. That time my brother came, I couldn't sleep and I couldn't bear to be separated from you for a week. It will only be tonight. Issei, resigned, okay, it'll only be tonight. The next day, Issei gets up calmly since he was able to sleep peacefully. Issei, it feels good to sleep alone, although Serachin's lap is more comfortable. Drake, I never thought one of my holders could conquer the Ice Mouse Serafall. Without a doubt, partner, you are special. Issei, thank you, Drake, but tell me what you'll do with Gremory and the other girls. Issei, nothing, they made their decision. Since that day I no longer love them. Drake, okay, but you're lucky you weren't deeply in love with them. Issei, why do you say that? Drake, you're welcome, friend. If you had been, you would have died from the dragon fall, Drake thought to himself. Issei, okay, we'll talk later, I have to go to the academy. Drake, okay, partner, I'm going to sleep. 3 hours later. At Kuoh Academy, Issei is seen in the occult club avoiding Rias and the others. Issei, Madam President, I don't want that, I'd rather withdraw. Rias, but why? Before you liked my affection and you always slept in my lap. Issei, yes, but not anymore, leaving the club, leaving the girls sad. Rias, something's wrong with my Issei. Akeno, you're right, before he used to stare at our breasts and now he doesn't. Outside the club, Issei, how dare they pretend that nothing happened, they are hypocrites. Drake, calm down partner. Issei, yes, I'll do it for her, for my Serafall. Underworld Sitri Castle, we see Serafall talking to her parents. Lady S, tell me the reason for your visit. Lord S, yes daughter, to what do we owe your visit? Serafall, well, what I'm going to tell you is nervous about her parents' reaction. I've fallen in love. La Lord S, seriously surprised. Serafall, you could say it was love at first sight, hehe. Lady S, and you'll tell us who the lucky one is. Serafall, is Rias's pawn nervous about how her parents will take the news? Lord S, are you sure about that daughter? Lady S, and the boy already knows it. Serafall, nervously playing with her hands, yes, and he feels the same way about me. Lady S, but how do I take it? Rias, Serafall, I haven't told him yet and I don't know if he has. Lord S, if that boy is your true love, I give you permission to be with him, but if he hurts you, I will tear him to pieces myself. Lady S, go daughter and be happy with the boy. Serafall, thank you mother, father, but I thought you would reject my love for Issei. Lady S, no daughter, tell me that's your true love. Who are we to interfere? I only wish you the best. Lord S, yes, our daughter's happiness comes first above all else. Be happy with your other half. Serafall, thank you mother, father, hugging them. Lady S, but you have to bring him to meet him officially. Serafall, yes I will, happy that everything went well, I'm leaving. Lady Lord S, goodbye daughter. Lady S, don't forget to bring our future son-in-law. Serafall, I won't forget it, disappearing in a magic circle. Human world. We see Issei walking through the city streets, looking at some shops to see if he could find a gift for his girlfriend. A few minutes passed and the brunette found the perfect gift to give to his girlfriend, but what the brunette didn't know was that he was being watched by the familiar of a certain redhead. As Issei left the store with a bag in his hands, Rias' familiar left the place and went to inform the redhead. Rias, so a gift, how sweet of my Issei. The next day, we see Issei leaving the academy and heading towards his house, but he was stopped by a certain black-haired girl who pounced on him and kissed him. Issei, Serafall, I missed you, Serafall, and I love you, my dragon. They shared another loving kiss but were interrupted by a certain redhead who was watching the scene with surprise. Rias, Issei. What does this mean? Issei, has President. Rias, how could you do this to me? I who love you and you cheating on me with Serafall, the girl said sobbing. Issei, and why are you crying if I saw you and the others that day? Rias, what are you talking about? Scared that she's been discovered. Issei, what am I talking about? Don't play dumb, President. Flashback. Days after the battle against Cockabeel, Issei is seen heading to the occult research club. As he walks, he talks to Drake. Upon arriving, he notices strange sounds coming from the main room. Issei ventures further into the room and slowly opens the door. And upon doing so, he gets a great surprise. In front of him was the woman who revived him and the rest of the entourage having relations with other guys. The brunette slowly closes the door and leaves the place. Issei, I sacrificed so much for her and this is how she repays me. From that day on, Issei distanced himself from Rias and the others. End of flashback. Issei, and what right do you have to say you love me if you did those things? Rias, but Issei, but nothing, I'm already happy with Serafall and you already have that guy. I only see you as my master and president, nothing more. End of chapter. Confrontation meeting Serafall's parents. Rias, Issei, I can explain, interrupted by Serafall. Serafall, I can't believe it, Rias, how could you do that to Issei? You've disappointed me. Rias, Issei, don't say anything, President. Everything was clear that day. It was perfectly clear to me that I am simply your servant, nothing more. Rias, no, Issei, she couldn't finish because Issei interrupted her again. Issei, no, what's done is done and I'm happy with Serafall now. I want you to respect that. Rias, no. I can't live without you. Serafall, that's enough, Rias, you made this decision. Now, as the demon lord of the underworld, I demand that you leave. Rias, but Serafall, now leave. Rias, yes, Serafall-sama. The girl left the place as she felt Serafall's power increasing, and besides, she was no match for her, so she simply ran away. Once Rias was out of sight of the couple, Serafall calmed down as she felt her boyfriend hug her from behind. Serafall, thank you, my love. Issei, hehe, it's nothing, my beautiful demon. The couple resumed the kiss that had been interrupted by the redhead. Several minutes passed and they separated for lack of air, leaving a thin trail of saliva. Issei, tell me what you want to do now, love. Serafall, what do you think about going to the movies, darling? Issei, okay, let's go to the movies then. 20 minutes later. Our couple is seen entering the room where they chose a romantic movie, or rather, Serafall chose the movie. Once the movie ended, our couple walked calmly through the city streets. Serafall, you know, love, I told my parents about our relationship. That comment made the chestnut-haired man very tense as he didn't know how they had taken the news, so he timidly asked, Issei, how did they take it? Serafall, they accepted, love, they accepted, I'm so happy. The girl snuggled up to Issei's shoulder. At first glance she didn't seem like a demon, the Mao, but now she was a girl in love. The couple continued their journey. Several minutes passed and they arrived at the boy's house. Issei, it was fun, love. Serafall, yes, it was, the girl would say sadly, something the brunette noticed. Issei, is something wrong? Serafall WL the thing is I want to be with you all this weekend but I know you're busy and I don't want you near Rias that bothers me. Issei, that was it because you didn't say just let me do some things and we can't go wherever you want. Serafall, okay 5 minutes later, Issei is seen leaving his house with a backpack. Issei, okay we can go. Serafall, yes. The girl would create a magic circle teleporting them, all of this being seen by Rias who would be extremely jealous. Rias, how dare he take my sweet Issei away from me. This won't go unpunished, the girl said, disappearing in a magic circle. Miami Beaches / Serafall Department. A magic circle is seen forming in a beautiful apartment which appeared to be luxurious. Issei, wow, where are we? Serafall, welcome to my resting place. Issei, a place of rest. Serafall, yes love, this is my apartment, I come here in my free time. Issei, incredible. Serafall, hehe, you like it. Issei, yes it's cute love. Serafall, well we'd better go to sleep, we have a big day ahead of us tomorrow. Issei, okay 5 minutes later. Issei and Serafall are seen lying in a double bed. Serafall, you know love, my parents want to meet you. Issei, alright, anything for my beloved. Serafall, thank you, the girl would say, giving him a kiss and at the same time snuggling into the chestnut-tired boy's chest. Issei, rest. The next day. Our couple is seen having breakfast peacefully in the girl's apartment. Serafall, and what did you think of it? Issei, this is delicious, it's the best food I've ever tasted. Serafall, I'm glad you like it, I've never cooked for anyone else, only for myself. Issei, everything was delicious, by the way, where did you learn to cook? Serafall, haha, well I learned it watching those cooking shows, the girl said nervously, but changing the subject, are you ready? We're going to my parents' house. Issei, yes. In Ftamundo / Sitri mansion. A circle appears and Issei and Serafall emerge from it. Issei, incredible. Serafall, haha, come with me. Issei, yes. They both start walking through the corridors until they reach a kind of room where Serafall's parents were with her younger sister Sona. Lordess, I see you finally arrived. Serafall, yes father. Lady S, I see that you are the young man who managed to win my daughter's heart. Issei, yes my name is Hyoudou. Issei, it's a pleasure to meet you. Lord S, the pleasure is ours, young Hyoudou. Lady S, I only ask one thing of you, that you protect my daughter, that you love her and nothing else. Lord S, and above all make her happy because otherwise I will tear you to pieces myself. Issei, yes I promise to make her happy. Lord S, that's what I wanted to hear. Welcome to the family. Lady S, from now on you can call me mother. Lord S, ha 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 ha, you can call me father now. Serafall, thank you father for accepting it. Lord S, it's nothing, but I see that those who were interrupted may leave, and young Hyoudou, please take care of my daughter. Issei, don't worry. They both leave the room, leaving the three of them behind while they teleport back to Miami. End of chapter. Before the storm. The sun was beginning to rise in the beautiful city of Miami, which indicated the start of a new day. The first rays of light struck Issei's face, and after the contact, he slowly began to awaken. Issei, ah, sigh, she looks cute when she sleeps, the brunette said, looking at Serafall sleeping peacefully beside him. 5 minutes later. We see Serafall get out of bed. She goes to the bathroom where she takes a shower. After showering, she notices that her beloved brunette was not in the room, so she worries but quickly calms down when she hears a noise in the kitchen. She heads to the place, and indeed there was Issei preparing breakfast. Issei, good morning Serachin, I see you're already up, take a seat, breakfast is almost ready. Serafall, yais, 30 minutes later. We see our couple walking peacefully along the beach under the watchful eyes of the men, who looked at the boy with envy for having such a beautiful woman by his side, holding his hand and laughing happily. Serafall, look, the girl said, looking at some boats. Issei, do you want to go up and take a walk by the sea? Serafall, yais, I'd love to. Issei, good. 10 minutes later. Our couple is seen in the boat admiring the wonders of the sea, but they are surprised by the appearance of whales which put on a show to the delight of them and the other people who were on other boats. What they didn't know was that above them in a magic circle was a person looking at our couple. She was a red-haired girl. Rias, damn Mao, how dare you take what's mine? All this while she watched the couple having fun, and this filled her with even more hatred towards the Mao. Rias, I'd better leave before they notice me, but this is it, Serafall, Issei is mine and mine alone, the girl said as she disappeared from the place through a magic circle. Several hours later, our couple is seen having dinner at a not very luxurious restaurant. Serafall, I had more fun today than I ever have before. Issei, me too, but the day isn't over yet. Serafall, what do you have planned? Issei, you'll find out soon enough. 1 hour later, our couple was standing in front of a karaoke bar and dance hall. Serafall, oh, I see, so this is what it was. Issei, yes, let's go in, my beautiful demon. Serafall, okay, let's have some fun. Several minutes passed and now our couple can be seen dancing happily. 40 minutes later. Right now our couple is sitting at the bar deciding what drink to have. Serafall, tell me which drink you like, darling. Issei, I don't know, they all look delicious. Suddenly a waitress approaches them. Waitress, oh, I see you still haven't decided, haven't you? Serafall, if we haven't decided. Waitress, I see you are married or a couple. If that's the case, I recommend the duo special. Issei, we are. He couldn't finish the sentence as he was interrupted by his girlfriend. Serafall, okay, bring us the special, the girl said cheerfully. Waitress, okay, wise choice. The girl would leave the place, leaving our couple to continue with their own thing. Serafall, tell me Issei, have you thought about telling your parents about our relationship? Issei, the thing is this, the day we came to this place I told them and they said they wanted to meet you officially. Serafall, oh I see no problem, after all I wanted to meet you. Perfect, the drinks have arrived, the girl would say, noticing that the waitress had indeed brought her drinks. Waitress, here you are, enjoy your evening, young couple, the girl said as she left the place. 1 hour later, Issei and Serafall were back at the girl's apartment and apparently both were extremely drunk. Serafall, hick Issei, hick I love you. Issei, hick me too, hick. They would slowly approach each other until they shared a tender kiss that after several seconds would turn into a lustful one. Several minutes later, our couple separated from that kiss due to lack of air. Issei, overcome by alcohol and the lust he felt at that time, would carry the girl like a princess to his room. Once inside, they resumed their lustful kiss. The brunette placed one of his hands on Serafall's breasts, causing her to moan. Not wanting to be left behind, she began to undress him, and Issei did the same to her. Once they were both simply half-naked, things intensified as the brunette delicately removed the girl's bra, revealing her breasts. Issei, Serafall, you can do whatever you want with them, they're just for you. The next day, Issei is seen waking up with a hangover. Issei, my head, what happened? I don't remember anything. Drake, hahaha buddy, you're great. Yesterday you were unstoppable, the dragon would say mockingly. Issei, shut up Drake, I don't remember anything besides, I'm naked and my head hurts. Issei tried to get up, but he heard a faint moan, and as he did so he looked for the source of the sound. Once he found it, his gaze changed to one of total fear as his hand was squeezing Serafall's chest, who was also completely naked. Issei, oh no, it's all over. Drake, what's wrong mate, don't you remember what happened yesterday? Issei, no, and I hope it's not what I'm thinking. Drake, tell me what happened. Drake, well get ready mate, end of chapter, all for my beloved. Issei, no, tell me what you told me isn't true. Drake, calm down mate, it's not that big of a deal. Issei, what do you mean it's not that big of a deal? Draig, you just told me I had hex with Serachien, you know Chisa Maou and I'm a pawn. Drake, she told you that doesn't matter. Issei, you're right, after all it had to happen sooner or later. Drake, exactly, but the question is this, is it possible that your female is pregnant, or maybe I'm wrong? Issei, damn, I'm still too young for that. Drake, don't scare me. 5 minutes later, Serafall was waking up just like the chestnut-tired man. She too had the same hangover and the same question crossed her mind. Why am I naked? Once the girl was fully up, she went to the bathroom to take a shower and afterwards had breakfast with her Issei. While the girl was doing that, the brunette, as always, went to the kitchen to prepare breakfast and try to forget that incident. Minutes later, the two were having breakfast peacefully, neither of them saying anything about what had happened the day before, an awkward silence for our couple, so the brunette decided to break it. Serafall, Issei, we need to talk, the girl said seriously. Issei, okay Serachin. Serafall, I know what we did yesterday, it was the effect of the alcohol. It wasn't us, but I'm still glad my first time was with you, but you know what this entails. The chestnut-tired man shook his head, but something told him it wasn't good at all. When I accepted the position of Mu, I was given several rules that I had to follow, and among them is one that if I had relationships or something happened to me, I had to find a substitute, since in order for me to keep my position I must become engaged to someone of my nobility, but since all my pieces are women. Note, I don't know what Serafall's pieces are, so in this fic they will all be female. I don't know how, but if this gets discovered, we'll lose my position as Mao Issei. Issei, don't worry Serachin, I won't let that happen. Serafall, thank you my Issei, there is no doubt that you are different from the others. Issei, you know you said it yourself, it doesn't matter if you're a Mao or Sona Kaichu's older sister, but I love you Serafall. The girl approached Issei and gave him a kiss that reflected all the love she had for the boy. Underworld Council of Elders Hall. In that room were all the ancient demons conversing about uninteresting topics, but all that would change as the door was opened by a certain well-known redhead. Old Man 1, Miss Gremory, what brings you here? Rias, I've come to report a crime. Elder 3, you say crime. Rias, if a crime. Elder 2, tell us what it's about. Rias, it's Mao Serafall who did something she shouldn't have. Elder 2, what did he do? Rias, she's dating a pawn and that pawn is mine. Elder 1, so that's what he did, don't worry, both of you will be punished as you should be. Rias, no, I don't want them to hurt my Issei, please. Elder 3, I understand that you are in love with him, aren't you? The redhead blushed at such a statement, which confirmed what the old man had said. Rias, yes, I love him and I would like to make sure nothing happens to him. Old Man 1, that's fine, we won't do anything to the boy. Rias, thank you very much. The girl would leave the place, leaving the elderly people there. Anciana 1, call Serafall Leviathan and Issei Hyoudou. Soldier, as I ordered, sir. Miami Serafall Department. Our couple was in that apartment, they were calmly watching a movie, when suddenly a hologram appeared and the same soldier could be seen in it. Soldier, Lady Serafall, you and your companion are requested to attend the Council of Elders. The girl was surprised by the news as it wasn't common for elderly people to call, while Issei was curious. Minutes later, our couple was outside the old people's room. Serafall was scared and Issei was strange, wondering what she was doing there. Serafall, Issei, you'd better not do anything. Issei, okay, my love. Our couple proceeded to enter that place. Once they both entered, in front of them were the elders of the demonic council. Serafall, why have I been asked? The girl would say seriously. Elder 1, Miss Serafall, we already know about your relationship with Rias Gremory's pawn. Elder 4 knows very well that that is forbidden. Serafall, if I love Issei and if my love means losing my position as Mao, I accept it. Old man 1, well, I see that he truly loves her. Elder 2, it's clear you love that boy, so tell me, young Issei, what do you have to say about it? Issei, I love Serafall despite everything. Elder 3, I see. Elder 1, well, as you already know the rules, you clearly must become engaged to someone of your peerage, but since all your pieces are women, you have no choice but to find a replacement or give up your relationship with Issei Hyoudou. Serafall, okay, I'll take care of finding a replacement for my position. As I've said before and I'll keep saying it, I love Issei and nobody's going to change that. Old man 2, well, if that's your decision, we accept it. Old man 1, but if within a period of 2 months you have not found a replacement, you must renounce your love for Miss Rias Gremory's farmhand. Serafall, yes, thank you very much. Issei, thank you for everything. Our couple would leave the place, leaving the elderly people behind again. Once Serafall left the room, she let out a great sigh of relief. Issei, I think he was going to do something very serious or something much worse. Serafall, yes, I already imagined the worst, but the good thing is that at least we're still together, my little dragon, the girl said, hugging the brunette. Issei, but who could have told him about our relationship? Serafall, I don't know, my love. Hyoudou house, Issei's room. In that room was a very annoyed redhead. Rias, damn you, Serafall, I swear you won't get Issei, he's mine alone. End of chapter. Obsession. In a certain apartment was our couple who were enjoying their last 2 days of vacation in that exotic city. While they were planning what they were going to do that day, far away from them was a small bat who watched everything intently. Japan/Kuoh City/occult club. A certain brunette was distressed, as Rias had recently begun to act strangely. It seemed she was no longer the same redhead she had known. Akeno, Rias, what's happening to you? The dark-haired woman wondered while enjoying a cup of tea. Suddenly the door was opened by a certain albino girl who always wore a monotonous expression, but deep down she was also worried about her mistress. Akeno, oh, Kaneko, you're back early. Did something happen? Kaneko, no, and I haven't seen President Rias around here for a long time. Akeno, I honestly have no idea, it has me worried. I don't know if you noticed, but lately he's been acting strange. Kaneko, yes, I've noticed. I think all this started after Issei Senpai's trip with Serafall Sama. Akeno, it's true, it all started with that announcement. But anyway, you know what's happening, I didn't have to hide it from my brother Kaneko. The dark-haired girl would simply nod in affirmation. A red magic circle belonging to the Gremory clan would form in the place, and from that circle would emerge 2 figures very familiar to both girls. Akeno, Sirzechs Sama, I didn't think you would come. Sirzechs, well, now tell me everything that's been happening with little Rias, because I have an announcement to make that will probably surprise you, especially my sister. Akeno, yes, that's fine. Minutes later. The redhead was worried. What the queen had told him about his sister was concerning. His little sister wasn't well. The Mao's wife, who had kept to herself since their arrival, had a small idea of what might be happening. Grayfia, if you'll allow me, I think I know what might be happening to Miss Rias. Sirzechs, and what would Grayfia be? Grayfia, as Miss Akeno mentioned, all of this started when that relationship arose, didn't it? So I suppose Rias has discovered it and somehow wants to prevent that relationship since he was the first man who had noticed her, not because of her last name or her wealth, even though it pains me to say it. Sigh, the silver-haired girl would give a small sigh. Rias went from being in love to obsessed. The way things are going, she is currently dangerous. I dare say that right now she must be planning how to separate them. Sirzechs and the girls were surprised if what Grayfia had deduced was correct. Currently their mistress and sister was dangerous, but there was a doubt that troubled the 2 girls, a doubt about which their friend and mistress was obsessed. Sirzechs, well, I was planning to tell you this anyway. Hyoudou Issei will now be Serafall's pawn since they recently became a couple. This news surprised the girls even more. Now they knew more about who their mistress was obsessed with. Akeno, I see Serafall Sama beat us, but what will happen from now on? Sirzechs, I'm going to inform Serafall to keep a close eye on my sister, although it pains me to say it, Rias is dangerous from this moment on. Hyoudou residence. Rias was locked in the chestnut-attired boy's room, and apparently she was not alone, since in front of her was a female silhouette which could not be distinguished due to the night. Rias, are you sure I can kill her with this? Of course, with this he can easily finish her off. Rias, okay, I'll trust your word. Just answer this, are you sure you want to do this? Remember, there's no going back. If you do this, not even your own brother will be able to save you. You will become a traitorous demon, and you know perfectly well what that entails. Rias, I've already said it, I don't care about the consequences, I only care that my beloved Issei is by my side. I don't care at what cost that Mao stole what belongs to me. Ha 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 ha, whatever you want, Gremory heiress. I'll take responsibility for whatever happens to you anyway. Use your head wisely, or so I hope. It was a pleasure doing business with you. That female figure would disappear from the place, leaving the redhead alone who had a crazy smile. 2 days later, Issei was entering his house unaware that his girlfriend was in danger. Serafall had never told him what Sirzechs had said, so the brunette entered without worry. He noticed that the house was empty and Issei went up to his room. Once inside, he settled down to sleep tired, but then he saw a magic circle form in the center of the room from which Akeno emerged. Akeno, Issei, we need to talk. Leviathan Castle. The girl with pigtails was entering her room. As usual, she was cheerful, but what she didn't know was that someone was lying in her room waiting for her, with the intention of killing her. Once the dark-haired girl entered the place, she said about unpacking her luggage, but a voice interrupted her. Rias, good evening Serafall Sama. End of chapter. Rescue. Serafall was terrified. In front of her stood Rias, who was looking at her with a psychopathic smile. The Mao was scared because with every passing second she felt her strength slowly leaving her. Serafall, Riastan. Rias, let's have some fun, Serafall Sama, ha 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 ha. The redhead would start laughing maniacally. The black-haired girl just watched in fear because the one in front of her was no longer that little girl who used to play with her sister. Serafall, Rias, we can talk about it. Tell me what your problem is. The dark-haired woman tried to convince the redhead, but her expression changed to a very dark one. Rias, calm down, you ruined my life, you damn bitch. The redhead was so angry that she raised her magic power. Serafall had grown tired of talking to her, so she chose to fight, even knowing that whatever Rias had done to her room, she was going to fight. She wouldn't let anything or anyone take her life. Serafall, as you wish, Rias, we will fight. The dark-haired woman would also raise her demonic power. Lucifer's castle. Sirzechs was signing documents as usual. He was bored when suddenly the doors were abruptly opened by Grayfia, who seemed worried. Grayfia, Sirzechs, we have serious problems. They both felt Serafall's magical power increasing. The Mao already had an idea of what was happening since however weak his younger sister's power was, he could feel it perfectly. Sirzechs, it already happened. Rias and Serafall are facing off. The silver hair would form a magic circle towards the place. Leviathan Castle. Both girls stared at each other, their auras increasing, especially Serafall's, as she wanted to avoid intimidating the redhead with her Mao power. But seeing that Rias did not stop, she had no choice but to get serious. She hadn't done so for a long time, not since she and her companions fought in the war. Rias, damn it. The redhead lunged towards the Mao. Her anger was noticeable. Serafall covered herself with an ice shield. Rias impacted it, shattering it since she had covered her entire body with the energy of destruction. Serafall was surprised since the only one who could do that was Sirzechs. Because of that distraction, she was hit. The impact of the blow sent her crashing into a wall. Once the girl recovered, she had to dodge an attack from Rias again. Serafall, how is it possible that she has this level if she was defeated in the fight against Razor? Did she always hide that power? No, it's not that. I feel like with every second that passes my energy is decreasing and instead hers is increasing. The Mao thought, dodging another attack from the redhead. Serafall would stand up again, raising her power even more. The Mao would launch herself against the redhead, giving her a strong blow that would cause her to fly out of the castle. Rias, damn it. Rias' aura would increase. Everything around her would begin to be destroyed. Apparently, the redhead had lost control of herself as her aura was unstable. Serafall realized this, but unfortunately it was too late. She had no strength left and watched as Rias approached with the intention of killing her. Rias, you took Issei from me, now I'll take your life. Serafall wanted to create a shield to defend herself, but every time she tried, her magic diminished. Rias, seeing this, laughed maliciously. Rias, ha ha ha, I feel sorry for your state because you must surely be wondering why your power decreases every time you attack me or I attack you. The dark-haired woman sensed something was wrong. Something told her to run, but her energy was gone. She could only look fearfully at the redhead. Rias, tell me, does this seem familiar to you? The redhead would take out a seal which was very well known in the underworld, especially for its peculiar emblem which belonged to the angels. Serafall, WHW, where did you get that from? Rias, Rias, ha 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 ha, your time has come, Serafall. You could have avoided this if you had never approached my Issei. The redhead would prepare a destructive attack which she would launch. Serafall just stared at that energy, which made her remember the time her beloved brunette had saved her. Serafall, Issei was all the girl managed to say as Rias' attack hit her. End of chapter, the end. Rias just laughed maniacally. She had finally gotten rid of Serafall, and finally her wish to be with the brunette was going to come true. Rias, ha 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 ha, I told you, he's only mine and nobody else's. The redhead just looked with satisfaction at what she had done. What she didn't know was that the Mao had not died, since inside the smoke screen was an imposing red armor which covered Serafall. On the other hand, the dark-haired girl was scared. She never realized that Issei had saved her again. Seconds passed and Serafall wondered why she didn't feel any pain, so she slowly began to open her eyes only to find herself looking into the eyes of the brown-haired boy, which calmed the Mao. Serafall, is that you, Issei? The girl said happily. Issei, yes, it's me, you don't have to be afraid anymore, I'm here now, I'll take care of everything. Besides, if you notice, I'm not the only one. The dark-haired woman would pay closer attention to the place, and indeed her beloved was not the only one there. Besides Rias, she could also feel the energy of Sirzechs, his wife, his younger sister, and the redhead's parents. Serafall, thank you again, you saved me, Issei. Issei, you know I always will, remember that I will always be by your side. The smoke that covered them was dispersing. Rias was still laughing maniacally. The redhead had an expression of pure happiness, but it didn't last long as she saw a very familiar red armor protecting Serafall. Her expression of happiness changed to one of annoyance. Rias, damn it, why don't you just die already? Issei separated from Serafall. Now he looked seriously at the redhead. He looked at what his former master had become. He no longer recognized her. She was no longer that girl he had saved long ago. Now he only looked at a crazy, obsessed woman. Rias, my beloved Issei, you came for me. The chestnut-haired man said nothing. He just stared at her. Issei, I didn't come because I don't recognize you, Rias. You're not the woman I knew a long time ago. Look at what you've become. How could I love a woman like that? Issei's words had hurt the redhead. Her anger increased more and more, no longer able to bear it, so once again she raised her power. The anger she felt towards the black-haired woman intensified. Rias had lost control. She only wanted to attack and attack. That seal that had been given to her began to control her. She only looked at Serafall, whoever she was, she only looked at Serafall's face. Rias lunged at the brunette. Issei did the same. If he wanted to get the redhead back and return her to her normal state, he had to fight her. Issei, Drag plus augmentations. The dragon obeyed the request of its bearer. Boost, 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 boost. The sound would begin to be heard in the place. The aura of the chestnut tree would increase. Both energies collided, causing a strong explosion. The place where they were located was being destroyed with each impact. Rias, damn Serafall. Drag, partner, with each passing second her aura becomes more and more unstable. It's best to take her out of the fight as quickly as possible. If she continues like this, you won't be able to handle her. Issei, alright Drag, let's do it. If that doesn't work, we'll be in serious trouble. Drag, alright mate, make it worthwhile. Flashback. Issei was chatting with Drag. Issei, if what Akeno said is true, Serafall is in danger. Drag, do you remember the deal we made a long time ago? Drag, you talk about giving part of your body, isn't that right, partner? Issei, indeed, I want to renegotiate that deal. Drag, it's been a long time, it's fine, your body has strengthened, so what part do you offer me? Issei, I offer you my heart in exchange for power. The dragon remained silent, which annoyed the chestnut-haired man. He wanted to go and save his beloved. Drag, I see determination in your feelings. Apart from those who have offered me such a part of the body since they only sought power for their own benefit, you are different. Issei, and you will do well. Drag, ha 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 ha, consider it done, but remember this. From now on you will no longer be a human, your whole body will be that of a dragon. Issei, I don't care, I just want to save her. End of flashback. Drag / Issei now. Dragon roar. Drag, Welsh dragon balance breaker. Issei, now in his new armor, launched himself at Rias again, who did the same, but this time Issei managed to land accurate blows on the redhead. Away from them were Sirzechs and the others watching the battle. Grayfia was healing Serafall as the seal had left her very weak. Serafall, come on Issei, I trust you, the dark-haired woman thought to herself. A clash of red energy on red was all that could be seen in the place. Issei was slowly gaining ground. The redhead's aura was becoming more and more uncontrollable with each passing second. Rias, damn you Serafall, you won't take Issei from me. If he's not mine, he won't be anyone's. Rias headed towards where Sirzechs' group was. She intended to kill her. Her aura increased even more. Sirzechs was about to intervene, but he saw a red flash pierce the redhead's body. The chestnut-haired man had launched a very powerful dragon shot which had caused Rias' stomach to be left with only a hole from which a lot of blood was coming out. The redhead's aura diminished. She began to descend rapidly. Issei, seeing this, quickly went towards her and caught her. Once the boy touched the ground, he laid the redhead down. Sirzechs and the others quickly went to see how they were. Issei, I'm sorry, Ra. The chestnut tree collapsed to the ground and everyone watched in surprise. Sirzechs and his family quickly took the redhead's body to the hospital since not even Phoenix tears could heal such a wound. The brunette was also taken to the hospital. Rias, I'm sorry brother, forgive me Serafall-sama, I'm sorry, I just wanted to be loved. Sirzechs, don't talk Rias, you'll be alright soon, just hang in there, okay? Rias, no, leave it like this. This is my end, I deserve it, I've made many mistakes. And this is my punishment, just apologize to Serafall and Issei, tell them they can be happy. Sirzechs, no Rias, please don't speak. The redhead watched as Rias closed her eyes, never to open them again. She was dead. Years later, many things had changed during these years. Rias' group, lacking a king, were given as free servants. Akeno returned to her father. Kiba met another survivor of Project Excalibur with whom he formed a relationship. Kaneko reunited with her sister and they made peace. The albino joined Volley's group. Zenobia and Asia went to the Vatican. Nothing has been heard from them since their trip. Issei and Serafall got married, and after several events in her life, the girl left the position of Mao to the heiress Agares, who was up to the task of being Leviathan. Present. We see a couple in a park who were contemplating the place. Serafall, tell me, do you still remember that day, love? Issei, yes, how could I forget? It was when our paths crossed. Serafall, that was the happiest day of my life. Mom, Dad, the voice of a small child would be heard. Honestly, wait, this time it was the sound of a little girl who was coming behind the boy. Upon seeing the children, the couple quickly opened their arms, trapping them in a hug. Issei, Icky, Rias, how many times have we told you not to wander off? Icky/Rias, we're so sorry, Dad. Serafall, okay, my loves, just don't do it again. Are you hungry? Icky/Rias, yes, Mom, and
let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.